Okay. Well, when I work at JPL or Jet Propulsion Laboratory, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, I get involved in very exciting projects. One of the most exciting projects is the Cassini mission to Saturn and Titan. So I worked on that project for 10 years. And it's a very big project. It's more than $3 billion. And it's a cooperative project with the European Space Agency. The Europeans contributed $500 million, and the rest is from NASA. So I remember working long hours, but it's really worth it because in 1997, when it was launched, my wife Mabel and I we were invited to see the launch, and also there were besides Americans, we also have a lot of Europeans coming over to see the launch, and it was very exciting. It took 7 years for the spacecraft to arrive at Saturn, and then it brings back a lot of valuable data. So when I see all those scientific data discussed in journals, in magazines, in newspapers, I really feel a very special satisfaction. And also I work on a series of Mars missions like Mars Odyssey and also the Mars Exploration rovers. In fact, when the rovers Spirit and Opportunity landed on Mars in January 2004, when Spirit landed, I never went to bed. And it was so exciting. We had reporters from all over the world. And I was asked to explain to some of the reporters. I still remember there were reporters from Japan, and because they were very curious, there was a piece of rock called sashimi. And so they asked me, why is this called sashimi? Actually, because that piece of rock turned out to look like sashimi. And earlier than that, before Spirit and Opportunity landed, we actually had an earlier mission that landed on Mars. It's called Pathfinder, Mars Pathfinder. It landed on Mars just on July 4th. Okay, on July 4th, and it's a very small one. And that one, the spacecraft was allowed to. We made it so that it can go to the different rocks and explore the different rocks. And at that time, we were given the freedom to name the rocks. So we can name the rocks, but we cannot give our names, put a person's name. So my daughter has a dog called Trooper. It's our favorite dog. It's our favorite pet. And so I put Trooper's name there on that rock. And so 2 years later, when I opened the National Geographic magazine about Mars, and I saw this piece of rock called Trooper. So it looks like my dog is immortalized by the name. His name is immortalized. So it is very interesting. Actually, other people put names like Bam Bam or Scooby Doo there, and so those rocks are still called by those names. Another aspect of work that I really enjoy is the cooperation with other countries. In my case, it's a cooperation with the European countries. So I used to go to France and Germany, Spain every year or every other year. So we had very, very excellent cooperative effort. For example, with the German Space Operations Center, also with the French Space Agency and the European Space Agency. So because of the cooperation and because of the work that we plan together, we develop excellent working relationships. So I found that in those situations, it's very important that we put everything in writing, and then we also stand by what we commit to. That's very important. That means if we make a commitment, we must stand by it, we do it. And that that makes the international cooperation much better. And so I was very honored when I retired from JPL after 35 years. So the agencies, the French Space Agency, the German, the European Space Agency, and the German Space Operations Center, they all sent me some of them sent me certificates, awards, and some of them sent me congratulatory notes. And so, and I think we still keep the friendship even after I retire. So I think that relationship is very satisfying to me. So I really feel that this is my experience at JPL, NASA JPL is really thrilling and exciting. Thank you.